Hello? Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we're going live.
Oh, okay.
We'll probably add it again.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it's still playing.
Why did it do that again?
I don't know.
It was
It's playing on this end.
It was playing on this end.
You guys were talking all over it.
Yes.
StreamYard is getting
yeah.
odd. I think we need to have our friend Krampus here take care of StreamYard for us.
Yes, please.
All right. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
I don't know if you guys saw that intro. Or not.
No, it did play. I had it play.
It did play.
It did play.
The intro played.
People just unmuted themselves. Raz, you're muted.
Oh, yeah, see? No, it unmuted me. Like, I didn't mute myself.
Yeah, right when it brought us in, it unmuted
We actually do know what we're doing.
We're having trouble with this, like the last 2 days.
Just half of us can't see what's happening.
It's frustrating. I'll say that. So, guys, welcome. Hello, Calvin.
Frustrating.
Hello, Jenny. We hear you too. Yes. And hello, Ohio Krampus Society.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
Cool.
Yay! How are you? How's everybody doing today?
We're good.
You know, the crazy thing is it feels like Christmas is going to be tomorrow because the last 2 years that we did this, we did it like a day or two before Christmas, and now it's a week before, or a week and a half. No, it's a week.
Yeah.
Wow, it's going to be here fast this year.
Yep. 10 days.
It's insane.
See if it'll let me pin it.
I already pinned it in PBDC.
Okay.
I'm pinning it. Don't worry about pinning it. Go ahead, guys.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, I've got it pinned.
I'm pinning them. Don't worry about it.
Talk amongst yourselves, okay, guys? Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm trying to...
We're over here pinning stuff.
Coffee talk.
Just coffee talk.
Coffee.
Up an ad for Svetch.
Am I like the only one that's able to talk right now?
I don't know.
Speak, people, speak. Hello,
I've been talking.
You will
I never
speak.
shut up.
But you did, and it was awkward.
I did win.
Just now.
No,
I
was
started
talking.
doing this, and then it was like cricket, cricket, cricket.
Everyone's watching you pin stuff.
Hello,
Like,
Mr. Krampus. I have some terrible children that live in my building, and I was wondering if you could come by and visit.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yay!
She'll provide the sacks. I'm sure she has like a collection of them somewhere.
Oh, yes. I have everything you need, just not the spaceship equipment afterwards.
We can get the switches.
I got the switch.
Yes.
Ooh. That's the routine?
That's probably safer
So
than the
I have been
study.
super excited about this stream because I understand that you have a lot of stuff you're going to share with us, not only about the Krampus tradition, like pre-Christianity, but also post-Christianity.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the tradition's super old, and the fun stuff is the dates switch all around depending on which one you're talking about. The pre-Christian is the Pectin ceremony, which is on the winter solstice, and then Krampusnacht is December 5th.
And see, the one on the 21st was the one I always thought it was, up until I learned, about the Krampusnacht being the 5th.
Okay. And a lot of people get confused, especially with Krampusnacht, because that part's actually pretty Catholic because of it being with St. Nicholas Day and everything.
Yeah, that part was my fault. See, I came to Earth back in, the Roman era, and I kind of birthed that, and I didn't mean to. It was a joke.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Targaryens again.
Dragons.
I'm sorry.
He's not.
He's not sorry. He's not. He's really not.
Mm-hmm.
So I have everything pinned, guys.
Yay!
Yay!
Go look at all
Yay.
our pins.
Yep, they're all
Great.
pinned up there. I got a pin too. See? Ha
And do you want to let them know? And I know your thing says Ohio Krampus Society, which is what you're part of, but
Right.
your name is Ed. So
Yes.
if that's okay, if I can refer to you as Ed, do you want to let everybody out there know when we're talking about, yay, we've pinned everything? Because there was really a reason that we were wanting not only to have our supporters beat you guys and, you know, just be able for you guys to like explain to everybody exactly, you know, what Krampusnacht is and Krampus and, you know, all the traditions that go along with it. But you guys do something pretty special as far as being a nonprofit, right?
Yeah, we're 100% volunteer organization, and every year so starting next month, I'll start going through local charities in Ohio, and every year we pick a charity, and 100% of what we make for the season goes to that charity. So this year it was Wags for Kids, and so our season is kind of came to an end. Last weekend was our last official thing, and we raised so far we raised over 5,000 for that charity.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is
Very
awesome.
nice.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And the really
And guys,
cool
the
thing about
link. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the real cool thing about WAGs too is not just that it helps provide service dogs for kids with mobility or autism issues, but they actually use the Ohio prison system to train the dogs.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
That is so
Okay,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
We had
And so what we've done, guys, is we've pinned that link down there in all the comments. So I mean, I know it's Christmas time, I know it's the holiday time, but even if it's $1, guys, if you guys can give to such a good charity, please feel free to click on that link and donate. Like I said, even if it's $1, it's going to go to a really, really special cause, I guess would be the best
Exactly.
thing to
Absolutely.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things like that actually that even in you said they're they're trained by inmates and stuff like that, or
Yeah, actually the dogs spend their first year plus in a cell with an inmate, and the inmate does all the training. And
Oh wow.
not until the very last stage do they move into a host family and then start taking their tests to see if they qualify to be a service dog.
that is one of
That's
the
cool.
things that we had out here in
Tehachapi.
we're in California and we're near
Okay.
Tehachapi, and they had for a while there they had pit bulls being trained or something like that by
It was pit.
being trained sorry, that something came in my ear fast. It was they were training dogs or something like that along those lines, but the aspect of inmates training dogs, it actually really helps rehabilitate the inmates too and stuff like that. That's actually a pretty cool thing.
And it gives them a skill when they get out, as far
Exactly.
as dog training, dog grooming, all of that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
That's
Exactly.
like 3 charities wrapped into one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly, if
bad.
you really sit down and think about it, it's helping the animals too. I mean,
yeah.
that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
That is
I
very
mean,
cool.
service animals are
Well, they're
it's-
so hard to come by.
yeah, they
They
are.
are.
Mhm.
They are.
I was shocked at the cost of training a service animal.
Oh yeah.
It's north of 30,000 right
Yeah.
now, and I was
Wow.
like, whoa, yeah.
So that really
Exactly.
does teach the inmates like a super usive skill, like not just a menial job, but something they can
No.
actually go out there and make good like money to be able to hopefully not ever be in a situation to where, in other words, take care of themselves very, very well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Specialized trade.
Yep.
Yes,
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
charity work like that, it tends to a lot of where a lot of jobs are they look down on ex-cons and stuff like that, but charity work tends to take people like that in and help them even more.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those vicious cycles when people go to jail and they really try to work things out. Something like that actually keeps them on track
going
and keeps
back.
them online and stuff like that, and keeps them with a flow of money coming in when they get out of prison and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, it helps us too. Obviously, Krampus is a little bit of a fringe thing, and being able to work with the Cleveland Botanical Gardens and cities now. Once you throw the charity aspect in it, they're like, "Oh, a horned, evil-looking guy. Oh, but you're in for charity. Come on in. We're good with it."
It's always
see, and that's a great segue, because that is something I've always been curious about, because my jam, like something I really, really enjoy, is history, any type of history, that kind of thing. Why do you think that is, that it just never really, or it's just now seeming to kind of take root over here in the States?
Well, so a quick history thing. During the occupation of Austria during the World War II era, the Nazis actually outlawed the Krampus celebrations.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, so the tradition had kind of slowed down for some years, and it was really the artisan community in Austria that brought it back. And as everything's gotten better, you look at movies over the past 40 years, in effects, the masks have gotten better, the Krampus runs, the Krampus lofts over there, more theatrical and everything else. And I think once YouTube and everything else, where people got to actually see it, because a lot of these runs happen one day of the year and that's it. So how many people are visiting Austria in one of these smaller communities that exact day to see something like that? When I was in Holland, we stumbled across a St. Nicholas parade where they had Zwarte Peter. I never knew about that tradition until I seen it, and then I'm like, whoa, what's this? This is kind of interesting and weird.
Please elaborate a little bit if you could. I make them all learn things. They're used to it.
Okay.
I don't learn too good. Just kidding.
Did you ask who Zwarte Peter was?
Yeah, if you could just a little.
Zwarte Peter, he's out of all the people that accompany St. Nicholas, he's probably the one that's getting the most slack right now, because he represents a Moor. And he's in bondage in obviously European history. When the Moors came in and took over the Spanish region or whatever, they were kind of looked at as little devils. So he got bound to St. Nicholas. And I was in Holland, and there was a bunch of white guys in full blackface running around the streets in a Moorish type outfit. But actually now Krampus groups are popping up in the Netherlands, as they're kind of pushing a little bit away from the Zwarte Peter thing, because of the whole, a bunch of white guys in blackface not being
right.
Very
right. No,
acceptable.
I can completely understand that.
I have to imagine that the haunted attraction industry lends a lot of not necessarily proper knowledge, but a lot of people finding interest, because I know just in Ohio alone there were 30 different haunts just this year for their Christmas haunts that had either a Krampus theme or main character's Krampus. Even our haunt had our whole finale was Krampus.
The funny part is you could probably do that with all the characters and actually do a whole theme of all of St. Nicholas's counterparts, between not Rupert, Belschnickel, Pete the Butcher. You could almost probably do a whole little section through each part of the haunted house in representing that tradition, because Pete the Butcher was known for chopping up little kids and eating them.
I know about that one.
There's a fountain somewhere in Switzerland where it actually has him depicted holding up a child, going to drop it in his mouth.
I have seen that. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to get with you before next holiday season and see if I get something going down here at our haunt, man. Just a whole full theme, the whole haunt.
Yeah,
35-40 minute walkthrough. So yeah, you'll see it everywhere. That'd be fun.
Well, see, and I like seeing that kind of stuff kind of come to the forefront. Not necessarily the whole violence thing, but just and I know it's not really obscure in certain parts of the world, but for us over here in the States, it's kind of somewhat obscure, but they're so interesting because, like you said, there's a plethora of different like characters that go along with this particular, I guess, season would be the right thing to say.
Yes. Yeah. It's the whole season because you have the St. Nicholas part, and then you get into all the Yule characters. Like right now, we're in the, I think, second or third day of the Yule lads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's my favorite tradition.
And then you have the cat in Iceland.
I love the cat.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Cat. I need to hear more about the Icelandic cat.
Yes, Carl.
Oh man.
So I believe he will rip you apart if you don't wear your new Christmas clothes.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or your new clothes for the winter or whatever. If you didn't wear them, he would come and kill you, basically. Yeah.
Joa the Yule Cat.
Well, I can never pronounce his name, but yeah, basically he's entertaining. So when you receive a brand new pair of socks, you must wear them.
Yep.
You must, or else he is vicious, absolutely vicious.
And Joa the Yule Cat actually eats lazy children or the offspring of unproductive employees. Traditionally, but they did later on.
Wow, that is oddly Austrian.
Well, I used to work with him.
It's odd because they went through and made them change that. Even the Yule lads got a facelift because they felt that it was making children terrified of the holidays. So the whole country got together and banned the original use of the Yule lads and changed it to something much nicer. They dropped Meat Hook like from the Yule lads and all kinds of other different stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Wait, well, I got his name. I'm going to try to say it. Yola Koturin. That's the Yule Cat.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I barely could speak proper English, so
yeah, I can write it, but speaking it, no.
So what is the difference? Because I know you had mentioned it. What is the difference between Krampus and what was his name?
Pectin. So
because Pectin's the one you normally see, right? As far as like illustration.
No, Krampus is who you normally see.
Okay.
Well, all of our masks are from Austria and from a wood carver over there.
No.
This would be an example of a Pectin mask.
That's gorgeous.
Okay.
And
wow.
You still have the tongue and everything, but it's multi-horned. This one has 3 sets of horns.
Okay.
And Pectin are supposed to be a doppelganger to the evil winter spirits that would come through the Alps. So on the night of December 20th, they would come out with the full costume, masks like that, the bells, and their hope was to scare the winter spirits away so they wouldn't have a bad winter in the area. And like I tell people all the time, you got to look at how Austria is. If those villages had bad winters, they would be completely separate from everything else. So, they didn't want to have the bad winter.
Because some of those villages were like days from other civilized society or other villages, really. So it could be a matter of life and death.
Yes. Yeah, and then you got to remember too, we're talking about, pre-1200s AD. So, I mean that in all cultures they did some kind of symbolism when you look at it around the winter solstice to either welcome the daylight finally coming up or to take winter away. And then that tradition is still celebrated over there, not as much as Krampus, but it's coming back. And I like that tradition just as much as I like the Krampus tradition. I mean, being from Northeast Ohio, I really hate a bad winter too.
Yeah.
But hopefully you're not days from other civilizations.
No.
Yeah, I did 15 years in Michigan, and I hated those cold winters.
Yeah. So that, and then like when I came on, and this is kind of more or less what a Krampus mask would be. Although this one doesn't have the tongue hanging out, just one set of horns. So you could kind of see how they've changed the two figures between that.
So those things are huge. Are they heavy?
They're not light, but they're not super heavy. So these are made from Swiss pine. So I don't know if you can kind of see here, but it's a solid piece of wood.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's hand carved, and we use the same artist, MT Loven. He's in Central Austria. And I have
someone out with it.
Oh yeah, you could definitely knock somebody out with that.
Yeah. Well, and the biggest problem I have, obviously, you can see I wear glasses, but if you see right there, that's what you got to look out. There's a tiny little crack. So,
oh my word!
When you're
so I just be running into things.
Yeah, you basically just see straight in front of you and nothing else.
See, that's what the bundle of switches is for. It's so he can feel his way around.
Well, it also makes a lot of sense too to have it sturdy like that, because during the Austrian parade, don't they run around and like actually whip bystanders too? Just if you're there.
So the Krampus lofts there are something
hardcore.
I would love to do here, but I don't think I could ever get permission to do them, because they'll have fire breathers. They'll, they whip everybody around on the side. In some parts of Austria, they'll even have like Krampus wrestling matches and stuff like that. So
I need that in my life.
I think you could do that here in Ohio, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of festivals that do like pieces of what you're talking about and have no problem getting anything for the whipping and stuff. Usually that's more of a Bonnickson area, but they have festivals for that in Ohio too.
Yeah.
And it's just waivers. They sign waivers when they come to the festival, when you come and you buy your ticket or whatever. And it's interesting. But I think you could actually probably, and there's like 8 or 9 different professional organizations for fire breathers in Ohio too.
Okay.
There's all kinds of cool stuff like that. Get with me sometime, man. I'll give you all the information I got, but you might very well be able to get that to happen here.
I know.
Because those are neat. I've seen them on YouTube, and they're amazing festivals.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the like they do the medieval fairs, and it's actually close to you right now? They're doing the Yuletide Village.
Oh yeah. My buddy Brian, he plays Giggles the Clown. He does a toy soldier on stilts for them sometimes.
Okay,
for the one that's closer to Dayton.
I have a guy I know that Ben's down there, and we've had talks about maybe trying to get like a Krampus loft going down there.
You definitely could. I can almost guarantee you could, because there's a lot of haunts that are actually involved with those people too.
Gotcha.
That would be awesome.
So on the history side of it, so then they say around in the 12th or 13th century when Catholicism made its push, that's when they kind of said, we don't want you doing this pagan thing anymore. And they changed the story and bound him to St. Nicholas.
Okay.
So Krampus became a servant of St. Nicholas. And that's why Krampusnacht is on December 5th. Because the feast is on December 6th.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's kind of like the same thing they did with the Day of the Dead, which was a Mayan holiday, and they go, we don't know if we want you doing this. Let's move that holiday to All Souls Day, and we'll let you have it that way. Then
it's kind of funny that they took and they attached Krampus to basically Odin. That's like we don't want you to be part of this pagan holiday right here. We're gonna go ahead and attach this pagan right here.
well, and it's funny when you look at that. Half of our Santa Claus things, Odin supposedly gave presents and was on a sleigh. Now, granted, his was pulled by goats, and we mountain goats, and they changed it to reindeer, but. I always make that joke when we do our educational part of it is, you know, when people talk about a traditional Christmas, and it's like, well, what traditional do you want? Do you want the Sears Roebuck traditional? Do you want this traditional, or do you want the original traditions?
Exactly.
Well, so when Krampus got tied to Saint Nicholas, was his thing always like eating and whipping bad children, or is that when that came around? Was his more like beating back the winter spirits?
Yes,
prior
so
to
the original
being...
tradition had nothing to do with children. It was all about the winter solstice, and the Pectin were supposed to look exactly like the bad winter spirits. That's why they call it its doppelganger. And they figured that if the spirits seen their doppelganger, they would run off and not stick around.
Okay, so I'm understanding. So actually, Krampus was somewhat of an offshoot from Picton.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm following now. Sorry.
Yeah, they completely the church kind of wanted to get rid of that tradition and then moved it to, well, we'll let you keep the kind of costumes and stuff. And then they turned them into basically the black hand of St. Nicholas, because a saint can't punish. He needed something to teach the children. And we're talking about the Germanic area, and we're talking about the same area where a lot of the Grimm stories came from and stuff like that. So it you know, a little more what's the old saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cautionary tales.
Yes.
My people were very much into the punishment side of things. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll tell you, you turn one baby into jam, and suddenly we have to have Krampus eating children.
So we have a lot of comments to get to. A lot.
2 million.
Okay.
A lot.
4,000.
I figured we'd say hi to everybody real fast. First off, we've already said hi to Jenny and Calvin, but hello, Nadine.
Hello.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Razzleberries.
Otherwise says, I like children. I just can't finish a whole one off myself.
Yep. He knows. That's why he's running for president, and I'm his Secretary of Education.
Yes, he is. Otherwise, be nevermore for president.
Indeed.
No more clowning around.
No more clowning around. Shelby, hello.
Hello, Shelby.
Tyler, hello.
Tyler!
What's up?
He's in here. I tagged him.
Also, that's why he didn't show up at the end. Okay.
No, this is Tyler Fleming.
This is
okay. I just
from the band October Noir.
Yes.
Okay, I see that.
Which, if you want some great music, go to Spotify and look them up.
Guys, we have Monsters is Real.
These monsters is real.
Hi, Adam. How are you? I've been kind of talking on the side on that one. I was because he said Mary Lloyd, and I was like, we got to get together for this hobby horse rap battles. Come on. Like,
oh yeah. Well, and you know, actually, Monsters is Real. They had Ed's cousin last year, but he was in a mug. They made him into a mug.
Well, they do know. Let me come over here to go down here. I said, you know, Adam knows a little bit about Krampus, and he says, yes, I do. And the Yola Kotorin, the Yule Lads, the Perchta, and Mary Lloyd. And like I said, if you guys don't know who Mary Lloyd is, it's basically a rap battling hobby horse that shows up at your door.
If you lose, you better have a lot of beer in your house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or you'll eat your children.
Us Welsh are weird. And we're really lacking in vowels.
That's always my comment with the Welsh. How do you speak?
Yeah. I found out that I'm like 25% Welsh. So like I was all, oh, that explains nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They make fantastic grapes and grape juice.
Nadine said, we're about to get 18 inches of snow here the next 2 days. Can someone scare away the winter spirits for us?
Where is she at that she's
1995.
going to get 18 inches of snow?
New York.
New York, yeah.
New York.
Nadine, Nadine, I think is near Rochester.
There's your man right there. They could scare away the snow, Nadine.
Slippy!
Nadine, are you near You're near like northern New York. You're like near the Canadian border, right, or something?
Well, I got to get past my whole conversation I had here.
Oh, sorry.
She's in Canadian.
Hey, Jonelle! Hello!
Hello!
Hey, Scott, a modest proposal.
Hey, Scott.
Cello. Hello, Beth.
Hello.
I have no beer, so I hope ice cream is good enough.
Is it alcoholic ice cream or otherwise? No, it's not.
Well, you need to be really careful if Slippy feeds you ice cream.
Yeah.
When
there
you
is
say
a child in here.
I'm not saying anything bad.
I see an elf. I do not see a child anywhere.
But when if you say that you want rocky road, you might want to prepare for rocks. Just saying.
From the road in front of his house.
From the road.
Pulls him out and tosses him in.
And possibly from a grave.
Yeah,
Upstate New York. Yeah.
Upstate New York. Okay.
Is that an actual city in New York? Upstate?
Happy Krampus.
Sorry.
Jennifer, hello. Yes, we are getting people in. Please, guys, share. Like, share, follow.
Go check out the banner here.
Because if you don't, I'm pretty sure someone will eat your children.
Something pinned on every one of your, whichever one you're on right now. If you're on Psychomantium, Channel 9, PBDC, there is a pin with wagsforkids.org. This is the charity that Ohio Krampus Society is working with this year. And they basically, please correct me if I'm wrong here, they help place, they help children that would otherwise not be able to get service dogs, right?
Yeah, they cover about 80% of the cost.
Jeez, that's awesome.
For a kid to get the service dog, and then they help the family set up little events to raise the additional money.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dog. So now this, I'm not 100% sure, but a family has to put in an application. They have to be vetted that, they can take care of the dog, that a dog would help this child. And then they move forward with training of the dog. And then the family has, I believe, about a year to raise their section of the money. And last time, when I just talked to the lady who runs the organization, Sarah, so the family is on hook for about $9,000 and they're paying about $32,000.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So is this all over the country? Like this is
they do it. You have to be within an hour and a half, 2 hours of one of the prison facilities. So right now they're using 3 in Ohio, which would be Grafton. They just started in Richland prison and Mansfield.
Okay. Do they have any connections to others that do something similar, or?
No, this was actually started right in just south of the Cleveland area.
Okay. Sorry for all the questions. I just know somebody who totally needs one of these.
Yeah.
So
tell them to move to Ohio. It's great here.
Actually,
Ohio is the bomb.
Very surprising with the amount of charity people do up here. Because we, for good or for bad, but we kind of refuse to work with national charities. Just because all of the people in Ohio Krampus Society donate their time, picked up the cost of their costume and everything. Not to knock some of the national charities, but I really don't need to be paying somebody or doing all this to cover their huge salary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to be careful with some of the larger charities because of the possibility that you're paying more of their overhead than actual going towards the charity.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's no problem.
So that's kind of why we like some of the smaller ones.
No, that's awesome.
I'm always giving them reasons why Ohio is where everyone needs to be constantly. So to have you on here and have some backup for a change, and we're at different ends of Ohio, guys. Like we're at different spectrums of Ohio here.
Yes.
So and we're both telling you how great it is.
I'm just trying to get everyone to move out to Spawn Ranch with me. That's it. You know, let's go live like Charles Manson.
We'll get a vacation house there, man. It's cool.
We're 2.5 hours away from Spawn Ranch where we live. Sorry.
We need to collectively buy the island up by Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Yes.
We do.
It's down to
$23,000.
It has a
Seriously.
giant cabin, like an 8-bedroom cabin on it with all this stuff. It's
I'm
got
down
fishing
for this.
shacks to rent out, but the whole island, everything, and the boat, like a big old pontoon. It's in like 23,000 now.
And then we can have our
Yeah, but
real.
see, we
It's for
would
sale for
all,
11
every
years.
single one of us would have to invest into a Krampus mask to scare off the winter if we're moving to a Nova Scotian island.
Well,
I like winter.
also,
Why would you want to scare it off? I want snowmen.
Yeah, we're from the land of sun
On an
all the
island.
time. We want
Have
winter.
Have you seen some
Hey,
of the
Slippy says
pictures
if
of the
you're not,
islands
yeah.
up there?
I would be.
They're
Look,
frozen solid.
but the real
I
thing
am a
is-
big Viking. I would absolutely love to be in the middle of North Dakota in the middle of winter. I would love it.
What we need to do
Snow,
is buy a ghost
everything.
town. We all need to go in and buy a ghost town because there are more ghost towns for sale in Ohio than any other state, also, which is totally creepy if you think about it. We need to buy
That's because
our
of
own
the
ghost
Mothman.
town. No, that's West Virginia. That's a little bit Ohio, but that's more West Virginia.
John L says I don't trust a lot of larger charities because of this.
Mhm.
Too much goes into pockets rather than towards actual cause. Absolutely.
Yep.
We should move to Nebraska.
No, you should all move to
No.
Ohio.
No.
I like Nebraska because that's where Dell's from. It's where Slippy is, and it's where I saw Henry Rollins. But other than that, I'm no offense. I'm good in Ohio.
Yeah,
Oh.
Sykes is he's in Riverside. I think he's was it a 4
I'm in
hours south
Riverside.
of us?
No, he's like.
I'm from Riverside, but Riverside, Ohio. See,
I'm all. Got this.
Sykes is
Got
only
this, Sykes.
Sykes is
What?
only 10 miles down the road, which makes him 2 hours away from us here in
I
California.
think there should be teleportation power. Like if you live in a city that the same city name is in another state or country, you should be able to just teleport immediately to that location.
And that would actually be cool because we're technically in Kent, and there's a Kent in Washington, and then a Kent in England. So
Nice.
There's a Lincoln in England. They
There's
show
a
up on our
few-
subreddit sometimes.
There's
There's
a
a
lot of
Bakersfield,
Daytons in other
Virginia.
countries, and it's weird.
I was about to say, I'm in Springfield. I could go literally anywhere.
I'm not too far from Springfield, Ohio, man.
even in The Simpsons.
Yeah,
And then you can figure out which one it is.
it's Oregon.
I know it's
Springfield,
Oregon. I know.
I just ruined the.
So I have a question. So Ed, how exactly did you get involved with what you're doing now with the Krampus Society?
So years back, about 10 now, I met a group of guys and we started doing this, and it was another organization, and it started growing. And then me and my wife back in 2019 said, you know what, we're both lucky enough to have good jobs, and we were like, we really like doing this, and we were like, we really wanted to do it for charity. So that's when we started Ohio Krampus Society, with the focus of education and charity with the community. And we have about 10, 12 members now. And I get a lot of people that say they want to join. I wish there would be more of us, but a lot of people, once they hear that it's all volunteer, I kind of lose, they kind of stop contacting.
Yeah.
What do they expect from a charity?
That's ridiculous. That makes me a little bit mad on your behalf, man. Seriously.
Well, it does, but at the same time, I imagine that saves you some headache, though, because it kind of helps weed out the ones that probably wouldn't work out anyway. So
the other thing is because we want to keep as much of the tradition as we can. We do. If somebody wants to join and have a Krampus, I don't say that they have to get a mask from Austria, but it does need to be a wood carved mask, because that's a huge part of the tradition there. They have wood carving schools all over in the Alp regions, and young children go to these wood carving schools for summer camps and stuff. I can't pronounce the name of the school, but they're close to Switzerland. But, you know, they have 6-year-olds carving Krampus masks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have...
this is actually from that school, but this is what they call a blank. So a kid would get something like this, and it's already been roughed out in the back, but you could actually do all the carving then on it, and you already have the rough part done. So,
you know, if you're gonna have a mask carved of Krampus, I mean, I think that's probably the best thing to do is have
it carved by a child.
Children.
But they're Swiss. The Swiss. Until I met my cousin's husband, I thought that everybody from Switzerland was actually a gnome, because you know, chocolate, clockwork, banking, all that stuff.
Just a whole bunch of armed gnomes.
And he's just like, "No, I'm not a gnome." I was like, "Okay, but you know, crafty stuff. No, Switzerland, go." Want a Swiss gnome mask?
It makes me think it's secret bank accounts. That's all I think about.
Well, but, now what do you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like I know I've gone onto you guys' page and things like that, and I've seen you guys do a whole lot of stuff during this season.
Yeah, so basically, our first event, and I've worked with Emma since 2015. She owned Black Market Records, and now she owns it's a old punk concert venue. It used to be called Now That's Class. It's called now No Class, and that's when we do that's our biggest like photo event, where we actually bring in a backdrop and make a little stage setup. And if you've seen any of the photos with the throne chair, that's always our first event. And
I did with the baby up here above the parents' heads.
Yeah. And that's actually one of my favorite events, because I always because I'm a metalhead. I was in the underground scene, especially being younger and everything.
That's the devil's music. I could never listen to that in any way, shape, or form. I don't listen to black metal or death metal.
I will say Ohio is very metal strong, man.
Yeah.
Huge metal scene all throughout.
I'm just kidding.
I just feel that so many charities don't go to people like me, with the tattoos and everything else, because we're not corporate, we're not suit wearers, and that's why that's one of our favorite events, and I love doing that. And actually, per hour in costume, that's one of our best events. And it shocks usually a lot of the charities we deal with, because they see everybody coming in with, tattoos, makeup, long hair, and they're like, wow, these people really give. And I'm like, yes, because no one includes them or makes it welcoming for them to give. So that's why I love that event. And then, I mean, from there on, we do the Cleveland Botanical Gardens, and then we work with a couple cities afterwards.
Oh, wow. Well, I know you brought some pictures with you.
Yes.
But on average, just real quick, how heavy are those costumes? Because some of those hot costumes just look huge. So
my wife's costume's probably a little lighter than mine. She doesn't use the huge bell, but mine probably weighs about 70 pounds. Hers is about 50. And my costume, the wooden mask, I have a huge Swiss bell on the back of it, but like my whole upper is a yak pelt.
Oh, that's awesome!
Wow.
And then faux fur for the arms and legs. But I prefer the outside events, because like the Botanical Gardens gets real hot.
Oh, I can imagine.
I'd be like, can anybody turn the heat off, please?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm inside a yak.
I'm carrying several animals here. Thank you.
but one thing you have to understand about us metalheads, we're actually pretty used to wearing thick leathers, spikes, being sweaty, dealing with smelly things and smelly people around us at enclosed areas. So it actually comes pretty natural to actually put that Krampus suit on, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I can do this.
nothing could be worse than the old Peabody's bathroom.
Oh, what was that one
stories
venue
about that place, man? So many stories.
The what's the venue where Mayhem played that you were going to go with me? The Fonda in Hollywood.
Oh God, the
Oh
Fonda.
my God, I've never been pushed against so many sweaty guys before in my life, and until that place, small, and then they have a craft beer pub on the side of which was awesome because I'm a beer snob.
There's this place
So
in
it's
Columbus
happened
you would love,
before?
dude. It's
Oh, yeah.
called the Newport Music Hall. It was an old opera house. It's got the balconies and everything, and like Guar used to play there. Like huge metal shows. Probably one of the most amazing places I've ever seen a metal show, but definitely the most amazing place I've ever seen Guar. It was so like just out of context. It was amazing.
Nice.
Nadine says our local metal scene adopted a family and is doing Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
I would dare say, and I've gone into this. I mean, I think I've had discussions before with even with the
We're
Mother
nicer than most.
We're but
We're just scarier looking.
where punk rock stopped in the 80s, or at least stopped in the 90s, metalheads kind of took over with the embracing being different, embracing other people and stuff like that, not letting rules get in the way, and then also the aspect of the folk aspect of
Unless
it.
the band has the word core in their description, then it's just totally gone, because anything that says something core.
You have the folk aspect of like Krampus and stuff like that, and the metalheads really embrace folk metal and stuff like that, and just history and all that stuff. It's one of the coolest things ever, So,
me and my wife actually went to Pittsburgh in August to see, and I'm going to pronounce this horribly wrong, but Heilung.
Oh,
Heilung.
Yeah. And that was an awesome show, and the people were so friendly at that show. Yeah.
It's okay. I still can't say a word you're in, right, and they're my favorite band ever.
Punk's not dead.
It's like
Punk's never dead.
I was gonna say most of them just decided to turn against their values and
or they died
or they're on walkers.
See, not me. I just yell, "Oi, kid, get off my shit."
I thought that was a safe word.
So there's some pictures. We scrolled out for a second, but we have pictures.
Yeah.
We have stuff.
Yeah, we have pictures.
Before we get into the pictures, do we need to run a commercial? I mean, I hate to be that guy.
No, you're right. You're totally right.
The problem has been I have to make sure to pull us.
See, we have been disorganized since the very beginning of this stream.
I can't show them. I can vocalize the ads for you.
We meant when we said
the
organic.
Ads are being weird right now.
When we said organic conversation, we meant organic.
All right, we'll be right back. Let me make sure.
Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work?
We'll be right back.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there. It's your boy Sleepy. And when I'm not guzzling down gallons and gallons of amazing ice cream, yes, I love ice cream. Oh, hang on. I'm watching PBDC TV. Now, back to the show, all you beautiful people, and remember, stay nasty.
Miller is a qualified psychic and spiritual medium who gives accurate psychic readings through a range of mediums. She is a professional consultant who uses her intuition to offer guidance to all of her clients, encouraging them to move in a positive direction and face the challenges that may lie ahead of them. She is also certified Reiki Grand Master and Shaman. Follow her on Facebook or YouTube each week for her weekly free live readings.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
I will steal that atomic.
It worked.
No, you won't.
I'm just kidding. We're huge Godzilla fans here. I love Godzilla. Absolutely love Godzilla.
You can't have my Godzilla.
I'll find a way. Good sir.
Oh Lord. 2 hours later.
For hours.
If you guys can't see right here, here's Shin Godzilla.
There's another Godzilla right there. And
Yeah.
in the other room, there's an entire shelf of Godzillas.
Yeah.
They're a little dusty right now.
I lost all my Godzillas and my Godzilla vs. Cthulhu artwork. I missed that artwork.
You are no longer a part of this anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Man.
All right.
Oh, somebody's grandpa has a Godzilla.
Pinball machine.
Jonelle has
Give
a
me that
Godzilla.
address.
That's awesome.
I would.
That's cool.
I would love that.
Buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff.
Who is that? Who said that?
That's some guy.
Some guy.
Some guy is getting banned.
Not
from
me at
Facebook
all.
Again.
I actually have one of the rarest Godzilla games too that it's hard to find. It's on PS4.
We actually gifted it to somebody, and that somebody sent it back.
What?
And
So
so
back a Godzilla game.
I'm totally fine with that for having
I don't
it
know.
back.
It's a fun game, and it's worth even like this. It's worth a lot of money. So
It was
I
worth
bet.
like
Yeah.
400 when we looked it up.
that's
Seen it,
mint.
but never played it.
It's like the trial of God with what's the name with cut off your kid's head. They're like, will Hexus really part with the Godzilla? Okay, you get it back.
He
We
was
just
being
wanted to know
nice
if
to this
you really
person
do
who was
it.
a dill hole in the end.
Well, it came back. I
Wow.
still have it. So sorry.
If you want something, set it free.
No.
All right. So we have pictures.
Hey.
Picture time.
We have.
So what are we doing?
What do we start showing them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
We'll go
was
through.
just expecting someone to say something.
So what is the?
So this is obviously not in some of the events we do. Not everybody's familiar with Krampus. So we always hand out these little cards, and this is basically what we hand to people. And on the backside, usually our charity information. But this gives people a quick rundown over it, so we're not spending a half hour, 40 minutes at the booth with every person that comes up.
That's a great idea. That's really cool.
I know if I was a part of that, and me being OCD the way I am, I'm like, look, guys, I got to explain every little detail of this.
I get yelled at all the time by my wife because she's like, you don't have to give a dissertation while you're talking to.
No, it's great.
Like,
I mean,
she's like, you got 15 seconds. Get it out. Get it out and get to the next person.
It's hard sometimes when you're passionate about something, really passionate about it. There's things on our main podcast we do with You Can't Sit With Us that I was like, try to tell people, do not bring up Metallica and don't bring up Godzilla because I will go off on a tangent.
Or Andre the Giant.
Or on a tangent about
The
a tangent.
Nephilim.
Andre the Nephilim.
I was going to ask if you wanted to read it or wanted one of us to read it.
Sorry.
I mean, no. I mean, like I said, it really is our mission, which is educating people the tradition, pre and post Christianity, and giving back to the community. And then we give more so the post Christianity a quick rundown of who Krampus is, because right away you always get the thing of why are you bringing Satan into Christmas? For the 9,000th times I've heard
It's not
that.
Satan.
It's just like, no, this isn't satanic at all. You got to realize that this came from the Alp region. They used what they had to create the costumes, which happened to be mountain goat horns and furs. And, just because I always tell people you got to open your eyes to a worldview, not just a small little, my little corner of America, and this is how everything ought to be. And that's
and there's not even a piece of satin on that costume either. So
no.
Sorry.
So there's a lot of different Krampus groups in the United States that do a lot of work for charity. And I don't know if you guys have followed or seen anything Krampus of Seattle. But they were basically thrown out of a town because of a couple religious groups, and they do stuff for charity too. And they were not allowed back in Leavenworth this year because.
Oh wow!
John L has a good comment here. It's sad that things that people don't care to understand is always linked to Satan. People assume I worship the devil, and I don't bother correcting them because people like that don't want to hear it, and I don't care enough to do the research. And don't care enough to do the research.
I always let people know that all the good bands are affiliated with Satan.
How do you think they get their magical musical powers? This is a known thing.
I actually seen a hilarious post where it said Satan's so disappointed he hasn't inspired a metal album since the 1980s.
So true.
That's good.
Constance says, my grandmother would tell me stories about being good, or Krampus would take me away as a child. Really made being good.
Yeah. Very
Satan
motivational.
likes classical music and smooth jazz. Okay.
At least your grandmother wouldn't shoot her teeth out at you.
I'm not even Hispanic, and my dad used to tell me the Kukui stories. So
That's a prominent story though here in Southern California.
It's a
yeah, Southwest.
It's a California thing too, but yeah, I'm not even Hispanic, but my dad would tell me "cucuy," so don't get out of bed or cucuy's gonna grab your feet.
The cuckoo is going to take your light bright if you wake up too early on Christmas.
No, that's what happens to light
I'm
bright.
totally distracted by the smooth jazz comment right now.
Good.
I don't know why.
He's over here like.
The DJ part of me is just like going up like 106.3 PBDC. Next 3 hours, smooth jazz.
John Tesh, sex on the beach.
Well, he definitely enjoys fiddles.
So this is one of our pictures from the botanical gardens. And I am in the Franz Josef Krampus mask.
Is
the mustache, the handlebar mustache, and my wife is actually in the white Krampus mask costume, and so my brother-in-law got sick this year, and we placed my sister. That's why the costume looks so baggy in the other Krampus costume.
Oh no!
Hey sis, guess what?
Those costumes do look heavy, though, man.
Oh wow!
Now this is one of the craziest things I ever did. We had a parade with Hudson Lonsberg, and they asked me if I would do it in costume. And I said, "Do you mind if I do it on my motorcycle?" And I literally rode my motorcycle down the road with not being able to see anything in costume.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
So you're having to balance that motorcycle, the heavy costume, and you can't see anything. That is the most biker thing.
But he's wearing a helmet,
He
though, so
still
safety.
didn't run over a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Don't try this at
Carol
home.
Brooks.
Or children. So that brings up a question. So each one of these Krampus masks, are they just interpretations by the artist, or do some of them actually have like names? Does that make sense?
No, they're all interpretations by the artists.
Okay.
So this is what the artist actually sent me. They actually have a magazine in
that's cool.
Austria dedicated to different artists and different Krampus groups.
Can you hold it up a little bit more? Or,
and how do you get that
higher.
magazine?
There you go.
There we go.
So
that's rad.
If you go through this, now granted, I can't read German, but
Cool pictures.
You can see some of these, but
that red one
there's
looks rad.
different. Every artist has a different style.
Oh wow!
Like there's a whole troop right there. So troops over there will
cool.
do like get the same style of mask for the whole troop. But these are even there's the little I don't know if you could see that one good, but the little black goat. And
oh wow!
Styles of masks.
Black goat of the woods with 1,000 young.
And then you know how everybody is familiar kind of with the 1800 early 1900 postcards. This is a little book that's just all the postcards, and
that's awesome.
So Krampus kind of became popular at that time, and most of these depictions are literally artists from Vienna who just said they've heard of descriptions of Krampus, and they kind of just went along and said, "This is what I'm going to make them look like." So it's really up to the artist on what the masks, and then. My Franz Josef mask, what I call it, I actually, when I was talking to Tom, I go, "Hey, I have this idea for a mask. I would really like to do a Franz Josef mask." And he's like, "I know what you want." And he carved it and said, "Is this it?" And I'm like, "Yep, perfect."
Nice.
Hi, Wizzo! Sorry, I just saw Wizzo jump in. Y'all look awesome. I wish there were Krampus events around here. Would love to bring the kids.
Yes. Where are you?
I think she's
in Rhode Island, I believe.
Rhode Island,
yeah.
Okay, they do have a Krampus in Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys.
I'm not bringing that up because we have a child.
I don't know if you guys have ever followed it, but it makes me laugh. He does great videos dressed as Bora the witch from Salem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, and they did a great with him and is dressed as Bora. They got the New England Krampus dressed, and they did the whole song for Laverne and Shirley.
Oh,
they did a whole like TikTok video of it, and it was fabulous.
The person was in here earlier, Adam. I don't know if you're still in here. If you ever get the chance, you should check out on YouTube. Monsters is real, and that's exactly how it's typed. Monsters : is real ? And he does an entire thing. It'll be under Adam Nickel if you look it up. And he has this entire thing about the Krampus. Now, mind you, when he does stuff, he does it in a very funny way. So don't be shocked if none of it is true.
It's very much like a mockumentary.
It's very tongue-in-cheek and like hilarious.
Yeah.
Luigi board.
Have you ever read the Brown book, Krampus?
I have not personally.
I haven't.
Okay, when we were talking Dungeons and Dragons, because he was one of the early illustrators for D&D in the late 70s, early 80s. He did his own Krampus book. Great book, but nothing to do with the actual tradition. Because in that one, he's actually battling Santa Claus, and it's a good book, but
right.
Wait, was that the Yule Lord book?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, then I have read that. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
John L says, I haven't been able to make it to Salem the past few years, but I should look into it and try to plan accordingly for next year. I know they had some crazy COVID restrictions in place, and since they've lifted them, it's been crazy packed. It's like hell trying to find a place to park there.
Yeah, and especially with Disney releasing the second Hocus Pocus, I heard
everybody wants to go there.
Yeah, I heard their October was just completely horrid.
Yeah. We were in Long Beach when they opened California up, and we got there. We got to Long Beach early. Was it Long Beach? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Huntington Beach. I'm sorry, Huntington Beach.
Huntington, yeah.
And we got there early. We left early in the morning and got there, and we're like, why was it? Even in the morning, I was like, why is the freeway so packed? And we looked up, it was like, oh, California opened up today. Everyone went. The minute everything opened up, it was just packed.
All right, let's go to the next one. Tea party.
The tea party. This is awesome.
Oh. So that's my niece. And there's a company out of Chicago called Rare Drindle. And she does a Krampus line. For Krampus season, and she had a child's author do Little Susie Meets Krampus, and we did some kind of pictures from the that were in the book, and this was one of the pictures we recreated. So
nice. I like that one.
We have tea time with Krampus.
I think
why does that teddy bear look so angry
next year?
I know the teddy bear's grumpier.
The teddy bear is grumpy. Look at him. He's grumpy and frumpy.
The Christmas special.
Maybe because he doesn't look like he has any tea.
Yeah, I'd be mad too. Like, how you gonna invite me to a party and not give me tea, man?
You know what that reminds me of too is I saw a meme of it was a little girl, and it said it was like, it doesn't matter how big of a or badass of a biker or metalhead or whatever you are, when a little girl hands you a toy phone, you answer it.
Yes, you do.
And this is we do go into schools and give presentations about the tradition, and then we usually do that with German classes, and then with this one school district, they actually get the teachers to write a naughty and nice list, And Saint Nick will go around and read from the book who's been naughty and nice. We'll give candy canes to the nice kids. And obviously we're not allowed to beat the kids, but we'll go throw stuff off their desks.
That's exactly what's wrong with the Ohio school system right there.
I love how you said obviously.
Yeah, that kid in the red right there looks like he's about to pass out and needs to be beaten.
I mean, I'm old enough that we still got beat in elementary school.
My teacher's that shit.
We had one with the paddle and one with the fly swatter, and she would kill flies, and then she would whack people with it.
Yep.
I just got the paddle. I used to get my ass beat.
Our gym teacher had multiple paddles with like different holes drilled in them for the aerodynamics.
Holes make it worse.
He would select certain paddles for certain kids. It was messed up, man.
I broke a paddle. They broke a paddle on my butt, and it was an actual paddle.
I just got told to stand in the corner. My teachers were awesome. I never got beat by my teachers.
And look what happened to you.
Turned out to be an awesome demon.
The bottom right was interesting. We walked by the gym class, and I was like, I think I could play volleyball in costume. So I played around a volleyball with the kids, and it was a little more interesting than I thought.
Oh, that's awesome.
Save any pancakes?
No. And then obviously this is from the no class bar, because with the backdrop and everything, but we try not, if a kid's really melting down, we try to, he didn't want to sit on the lap. He was like, I don't want to be anywhere near you. So I was like, look, buddy, it's just a mask, blah, 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 blah. So
that's cool.
But that's that's the yak pelt.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That looks amazing, man.
I want
it does.
Me too. I didn't know I wanted one until today. I really want one.
Oh, nice.
And that is our Frau Pecta in the left corner. That's Emma, who owns No Class, and she's just wonderful to work with. Like, she gives us the whole facility for the day to do the pictures. That's Sarah and one of the dogs from Wags, and that's another one of the members dressed as the Krampus with the blue mask, and my wife and cousin in the front.
I love all the variations. I do.
Yeah,
I do too.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see.
Oh, that's just a closer picture. Of it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I'm
look
digging
at
the walls.
Look at that. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. I love it. Nice.
That was for we try to do as much as we can to get people. We take pictures of events before we get there, and that's in the city of Eastlake, and we were doing photo shoots for promos for the event.
That's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
We did an event with Hop Tree because they came out with a Hop Tree Krampus ale.
Oh.
No, that was not a full keg.
This reminds me.
At least not once they got done with it.
Would have wear one of those on your back instead of the bell, just for like one event.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the Finnish band Korpiklani?
No, I have not.
Oh, they're so good. They're a folk metal band from Finland, it reminds me of the song they had. It's called "Bring Us Pints of Ale," and they're just screaming it. It's so good. They do songs about hunting, and drinking. That's literally all they do.
Oh, hold on. Let me go back over here. So apparently, Shriek said, "Tea and Krampus."
It's so good.
You have to hold your pinky out when you say it.
You will drink the tea. You will drink it.
Teddy bear doesn't look like it wants to be there. The world needs spankings again. Agreed. Just, not teachers.
I think otherwise needs to consider making Krampus the vice president.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's just information from WAGs about what they do, and actually the prices have, due to what everybody's experienced with inflation, that those prices have actually gone up, but they're not raising the prices for what the family needs to generate.
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
I'll read through it. Founded in 2004, Working Animals Giving Services for Kids, WAGs for Kids, is dedicated to providing mobility and autism service dogs for children throughout Northeast and Central Ohio, utilizing an award-winning Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction accredited cell dog training program. Each trained service dog costs $28,000, which, as said before, this has gone up. During the training process, WAGs for Kids covers the cost of all food, housing, veterinary care, supplies, and countless hours of professional training that go into preparing a service dog for placement with a child. Each partner family commits to raise $9,000 of that cost, and WAGs commits to cover the additional $19,000. They receive no government funding. They are entirely dependent on the generosity of a strong support network of our community and its leaders. Programs are funded entirely through in-kind donations, the support of grants, sponsorship, and proceeds from hosted events. For more information, go to www.wagsforkids.org.
Which is down in the comments, guys. Down in the comments.
Oh, we got to put the banner back up too. We forgot.
There we go.
All right.
So we try to get creative with our posts throughout the season because it seems like comedy always draws a little more people to it, and to bring. So this was our Krampusnacht post for this year, and that was my wife that came up with the rework of Jingle Bells.
Thank you so much. I'm all about the song parodies, man.
Yeah.
See, I think we need a Krampus on the shelf. Like that could be like a really good merch idea.
They do sell one on Etsy. It's called Krampus in the Corner.
There you go.
It's funny that you mentioned this because around next Christmas, I have a book and doll coming out for a lad in the pad. It's a story for like you can get different Yule lads and stuff. I've been working on it for like 2 years.
Nice.
So
another
one of those.
Yeah, same thing. This was another post we gave out where my wife
that's rad.
with song lyrics, and then she's good at this stuff. We did photo shoots with some of their dogs this summer, and then she took them and cropped it out and made different backgrounds and stuff. That's not my skill zone.
Well, I definitely give her kudos because when we were trying to come up with that first additional promo, when you guys were going to come on with us,
yes.
Do you know how hard it is to find a word that rhymes with Krampus?
Just to make it up on the spot.
It's like finding a word that rhymes with orange.
Have you seen the old show Dinosaurs? That was
yeah
the old one? Yeah
where they went to
you're muted.
They went to name baby, and it was the naming day, whatever, and like the person who named the dinosaurs names them. It's all he's naming the dinosaurs, and all of a sudden gets the baby, and it's all ugh, I'm dying, you idiot. And then they try to do the rhyming game with them, and it's all ugh, I'm dying, you idiot.
I love that show so much. That last season was so depressing, though, man.
The last episode is
God.
You know they're bringing it back.
How?
No.
Apparently, they're talking.
Bruce
They've been working on it.
Why?
Since, a year before COVID, they've been talking about kind of almost restarting it, but not quite. Where basically they're going to ignore the very last season.
The guy who did the
Last I
music
heard.
for it is my godmother's dad.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, it was a good show, but it had its thing, and then it ended, and we were all traumatized. Why bring that back?
That
Disney really wants to do it, man. Disney, since they bought
Disney
Fox,
wants to
really
ruin
want
everything.
Disney wants to do it.
Everything.
Disney's trying to ruin everybody's childhood.
Well,
I'm not for it.
Did you see what? So obviously, when we do events, people tell us, but the new Santa Claus.
I haven't yet.
On Tim Allen with Disney Plus. Well, they included Krampus this season.
Did they?
Oh,
did they?
Oh yeah, but instead of beating children, he takes their presents away.
What?
He's not the freaking Grinch.
You're right. That's it. And they literally turned him into the Grinch on the show.
Oh my god.
So,
Krampus is stealing the tree again.
I'm definitely not going to watch it now.
I made a review about.
I do want to watch Violent Night though.
Yep.
Oh, that looks so
And don't forget, Howard Thornton, Art the Clown himself, is the Grinch in the horror movie The Mean One.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Yes.
He is the Grinch in The Mean One, yeah.
If you have any questions about clowns, these guys, well,
all of us.
Yeah. Just
I don't like
ask.
clowns. I like the good clowns.
Yeah, but you're enough of an obsessive person that you'll tell everything about the bad ones too.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I had to look it up because it pissed me off as much.
So
Don't watch Terrifier 2 while eating bratwurst.
I
haven't seen it yet, so okay. Our FYE closed, so
Same.
Yeah.
Oh.
A long
ours
time ago.
Goes. It's gone.
Ours was somewhat recent, like within the last year, and at the end they were also apathetic.
Oh yeah. They were not.
$12. Give me 50 cents. You can take it.
Like
I don't think the money actually made it to the register at that point.
No.
But they were just weird by the end there. And then, of course, so COVID hit. They tried to make people stand outside, and everybody was like, "Dude, it's just FYE. We don't really have to come in here. We can get our music other places, and we can order those shirts online."
Yeah.
So bye. 'Cause they were so rude about it, about having to making us stand outside. Well, shortly after, when everything started opening back up, you notice that everything is closing, and we were like, "That is on you. You guys were dill holes."
Oh.
I like how GameStop did it. You just show them like, "Hey man, what do you need?" And they just go, like, "Give me a second." They'd go and take your money or your card through the door, and they would just do all your shopping at GameStop for you. It was nice. It was very pleasant. Because I could just go wait in the car, and they would just bring it out.
Well, this has been amazing. I've had a lot of fun tonight.
Oh, we have a few more pictures here.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot. There's a couple. More.
Yeah. So now this is. I swear to God, we get this comment from parents all the time about how amazed they are that more kids than not don't scream at all. They just want to hug us or chill with us or whatever. And this little girl just ran up to my wife and was like, "I want to give you a hug." Like it was great.
I love
it. I would have been all about it as a kid. I would have been all about it.
Yep.
Aw.
Krampus makeout session.
I love this one. I love that.
Save me from that red and white man.
Yeah, we use again my niece to do some photo pictures with. That is actually me behind the mayor of Eastlake's desk.
So awesome.
Krampus for mayor.
I'm getting a strong Troll 2 vibe on that one.
And that is from our past weekend. And Will does a great job with his costume. He keeps like a red strobe light in his basket, which you can't see from here. And funny story about Will is he was part of the follow around for Guar and used to do some stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is amazing.
See, and I had to put on my glasses because I can't see up close. And I was like, what is a screaming blue meanie doing in here? That is amazing. I love that costume.
Oh my God, this was cool.
This is like a Bram Stoker.
That's neat.
Krampus almost. It kind of reminds me of Bram Stoker's Dracula a little bit in like
Yeah.
an awesome way.
with the kids coming up here, it also reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are.
Yes, I was going to say that earlier.
It's so cool that to see stuff like that.
I love that smile. She's just all about it.
And that mask is actually my tattoo artist took that mask and that's how our logo came about. It's
wow.
That's
Okay.
It is badass, man.
And then we have, oh my goodness,
That's
how cute.
cool.
Krampus even does baby story time.
I love it. That's all the pictures we've got.
Yeah.
Those are great.
That is amazing, man.
We went almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Oh my word, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I learned some things even I didn't know today. Honestly, like this was amazing.
The mask making
Just a
part
quick
of it.
shout
Was
out for anybody that wants to pick up more knowledge. This book here.
Hold on, let me make it bigger here.
Is a great book. This guy is actually the founder of Los Angeles Krampus, and he went around Austria in those regions and did a lot of interviewing of people in the tradition and stuff. And he talks about a lot of the other characters too. That fall around St. Nicholas, and talks about the pectin, Fra Pecta, and a lot of that stuff too. So that's a really great book. If people want to delve a little deeper down the rabbit hole.
Can you read the title and the author out loud for us?
Yeah, it's The Krampus and Old.
Wrong one.
Oh. The Krampus and the Old Dark Christmas Roots and Rebirth of the Folkloric Devil. And Al Ridenor, which is Ridenor.
Nice.
Okay.
That's rad.
That's a great book. If people want more information on the traditions and different traditions too, because he talks about Belschnickel, Pete the Butcher, Fra Pecta, all of that stuff.
I forgot to say Pete the Butcher.
You know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hex.
Well, I was going to say Pete the Butcher owes me money because we had a bet back in 1932 in Austria. Well, it kind of started at the end of World War One, and then some stuff got out of hand.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
Well, that's like the other day I was looking up the Yule lads because I was going back through them again, because there's 13 of them. But apparently, what is it? East Icelandic actually have 2 female Yule lads. They're supposedly very obscure that pack grease either in their nose or their socks. And I have so many questions.
What?
I would explain, but there are children present.
I have questions about several of the Yule lads, especially the names, and I just can't say it with children present.
Yeah.
Sorry, paper.
One day when you're older, we'll tell you all the things.
Christmas is just not for children. We cannot.
No, it's not.
I think next year I'm going to do Lincoln and his friends meet Krampus, the next kid's book. I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah. I did the Halloween one for Christmas this year, so I got to do an actual Christmassy one next year.
That would be amazing. Well, I've had so much fun tonight.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. It was very much fun. Just like I said, the learning how the masks were made. That's actually really rad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they had to be made out of wood. I did not know that at all.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I want one now.
And then if you guys search on Facebook, if you do anything like MT Dash, that's a lot of what the wood carvers pages will start with.
MT Dash.
Yeah, like it's mine's Mount Loven is my wood carver, but if I go back to this magazine, they all kind of start with that, the different mask makers.
And that was the magazine, though, right? How did you get the magazine? Do you have to order it from somewhere?
So this is crazy, but trying to get some of those companies, they won't ship to the U.S. The guy who makes my masks, because some of the masks I own are in this magazine, he shipped me the magazine with the mask.
Nice.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, I found out that Germany's a lot easier to do shipping than Austria for some weird reason. And I don't know why.
Don't try Australia ever.
Yeah, there's a.
It's hard.
It's hard to.
Well, customs can be really complicated depending on the country. Even though you wouldn't think that there would be an issue, it's just, I guess, whatever agreements they've made or what have you.
Exactly.
For the price to just ship a T-shirt to one of my friends in Canada, I can just drive into Canada from here in Ohio, and it's about the same amount of money. I swear.
We had a book that we were with, and to ship a copy to one of the authors, because it was printed in the United States, was going to cost him like $400 to ship a 150-page book.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Well,
I was trying to get water from Texas. I was trying to get like a case of water, right? And there's a reason for it. It's from a certain spring that has lithium in it naturally. And I was trying to get the lithium water sent over here. It was $70 to ship it, and the case was only like $25.
If you want to ship water from somewhere, there's a city in Ohio that I don't know if it's the best water in the country or something like that. It's Hamilton, Ohio. For some reason, their water.
I just wanted to live.
It's better than water I've dipped right at natural springs before. I don't know why it's better, but it somehow is.
I just wanted the lithium water. Like,
Is that so hard to ask?
I know. It's
not that hard to ask.
Cool.
We used to have
water,
a really
toss some
high
batteries in there
concentrate
overnight, and you're some lithium batteries, and that's how you make lithium water.
Oh.
Don't do this at home. It's
exactly how you do it.
Totally.
You just mix some potassium. No, just don't.
Yeah, never listen to me. I'm a terrible person.
Children do not do this at home. Yes.
You know, I have that ticker on there specifically for Slippy, but now I have to use it for Raz.
Yeah.
I think the next time I pissed on my daughter, I'm going to look at her and say, "You should have been Jam." I'm going to start saying from now on.
Oh. All
and on that note.
So, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Guys,
thank you so much for having us on.
We really appreciate you coming on. This has been a lot of fun and very informative. And look, you guys are welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Let's get the name of that charity and website one more time before we go.
Wags for Kids.
We might try to steal you for the storytelling for our
definitely. That would be
podcast
epic,
sometime.
Yeah, that's fine too.
And y'all's links are also up on our website. They'll be there if for some reason you need to go find it after this stream for whatever reason. So
okay,
definitely.
Oh, there is one more thing. This is we are going to be doing in an hour or half hour.
What are we doing anyway?
The storytelling thing.
Oh yeah, our
we're ending this
Christmas party thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like that's at midnight. Well, midnight.
And Mother Day the Mort, and we were talking last night. We have something. I don't know. Did you didn't put it in the chat, so we're gonna surprise.
No, I didn't. I was gonna surprise everybody.
Surprise now.
So now the fact that there's gonna be a surprise has been ruined for me. So thank you.
For you three on the bottom, there's a major surprise coming. You guys are gonna have some fun participating in this.
And of course, I have no clue about
it. So
I'm ready to go.
I have no clue either.
I'm gonna go take an edible real fast, and we're gonna make this really interesting for the next show.
Children.
Edibles are legal in California.
No, it's swearing, but
I didn't swear.
I was swearing.
Wow.
Well, Ed and Ohio Krampus Society, thank you so much for joining us. We had a really good time tonight.
Thank you.
You guys all
thank
have a
you
good
so
night.
much.
You too.
You too.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know, said the world.